I've had that relationship since 1971 or 72. I've known Atiku. But this is beyond that. My problem is that even if I emerged as a candidate of PDP, I will not do well. Because the baggage that party carries and the culture of that party is inimical to Nigeria's growth. That's the truth. I know PDP. I'm a founding member of the PDP. Because if you go into the PDP, if you want to deal with corruption, right, there are so many toes you will thread on in the PDP. You will not be able to. So no matter what Atiku tells you, you can't do anything. Look at Buhari. As stern as he is, he got into APC, he just locked up. He said, all the people with him became saints. You know it. So you need to, for this country, you need to be completely unshackled. You know, let me tell you something. My attitude to being governor was, God has afforded me an incredible platform to affect the lives of people. I must never trifle with it. Because my actions daily influence and affect the lives of people. And I'd like to go to heaven one day. And he has given me a way of leapfrogging to get to this heaven. So take it seriously. If he affords me the opportunity to be president of Nigeria, I go with the same mindset. And if it's his will, even if I'm in People's Party, whatever party, I'll get there. You know? So it's really not the platform. It helps. But I tell you, no matter how well-intentioned you are on the PDP, you can't do much. Half of the people there have cases in EFCC. You as president, do you really think you'll have the courage, right, to allow those cases go on? I've used the case of Buhari because it's pertinent. Buhari, you know, his mindset, anti-corruption, this. What has he done? There are ministers there in his government. There are people in his government who have cases to answer. He's shackled. He has not been able to do anything. But if he was maybe in his, or this CPP, what was his party? CPC. He would have seen wonders, because he'd be completely unshackled. So those APC, PDP, it's two sides of the same coin. A maths teacher in a school, right? 100 of her students go for mathematics, 80 fail. It does not affect her promotion. It does not affect her job at all. I don't do my own. If you like, don't pass. Lack of consequences. So, 78 people were killed in Benue State, headsmen. There's a police commissioner, there's director SSS, there's brigade commander, there's DPO. Nothing happened. 200 were killed in Plateau, right? You have the brigade commander, you have commissioner of police, you have SSS. Nothing happens, right? You go to a hospital, you walk in, you're brought out dead. Nobody asks the doctor what happened. So the lack of consequences in Nigeria has taken us far. But coming back to the health sector, health must be available and affordable. So you need to have a health insurance scheme that works. One of the ways of doing it is ensure that we have a national identity card, that once you are a Nigerian, you are entitled to it. Even if you have no job, right, the system will take care of you. What people are afraid of is that if you do that, the doctors there'll be fraud. But you don't let, because of fear of fraud, kill a good thing. You deal with the issues. Let people know that if you commit fraud, or if the doctor commits fraud, maybe the doctor gives you Panadol and charges you for appendix. The doctor will lose his or her license and will never be able to practice again. Then people will sit up. So you know that, okay, well, I may do it, but if they catch me, you ask yourself whether it's worth it. But in the case of availability, I would say that in every political ward, you must have at least one primary healthcare center. And depending on the size of the ward, any political ward that has more than 5, you must have a minimum number of patients to hospital ratio. So a political ward may need more than 5 primary healthcare centers. Those primary healthcare centers do not need to be managed by a doctor. In fact, even a youth corper can manage those things. But you need, in the past, we used to have matron superintendents, right? They deal with mainly maternal care, childbirth, simple things. And once it's beyond them, they refer you to the general hospital. Again, depending on the population in the local government, that will determine the number of general hospitals you have in that local government. Then you must have one of them in a senatorial district that is referral. These are all government institutions. If your interest rates in Nigeria were affordable, right? Because one of the problems in Nigeria is high interest rates. A lot of private hospitals will spring up. A lot of businesses will spring up because they all complement. But the critical thing to ensure that our healthcare works is that every case, particularly of death, right, is accounted for. When I was governor, there was a lady who went for childbirth, okay? So I think she had BP or something, high BP. They were meant to, it's a very basic thing. When a woman goes into and has high BP, there's a way they manage it. But this guy didn't manage it well, and she died. And my commissioner for health, he was one that brought that. He was very angry, and he wrote to the Nigerian Medical Association. They have an ethics committee that this guy's license must be withdrawn, right? The Nigerian Medical Association crossover chapter came back and said they would go on strike if it happened. When I heard the case, I said, go ahead, go on strike. Of course, they didn't go on strike in the end, but if, I don't know how the case ended, but if that chap's license, because they brought him, you know, they have a committee, right? He did all the steps he took were wrong. Even the junior doctors who were there with him, they saw what he was doing and they felt that, this is not what we were taught. If his license was withdrawn, people will be careful. But we do things and nobody cares. That's the problem. So a lot of our healthcare is not because the people, they just don't follow the procedure. In healthcare, it's a very measured procedure for everything you do. There's a checklist. They don't do it. They just don't, you know. I've been in a place where someone was giving surgery without anesthesia. And guess what? It's the pain that killed him. And the hospital, actually we sued this guy, we took this guy to, he was jailed. The hospital, about half a kilometer away, had everything that was required. It was a car accident case. So they had to do some suturing. He didn't have anesthesia, local, not general, local anesthesia. All he had to do was send to the other hospital to bring it. He didn't. He wanted money. Or you go to hospital and they say, bring 50,000 naira. If you don't, go away. The person walks out and dies. So if you can take care of consequences in our nation where you know that you're answerable for your omissions and commissions, you have solved half the problem. And let me tell you, consequences were instituted by God. It doesn't mean you're a wicked man. He gave you 10 commandments. He gave you, if you do good, you know where to go. If you do bad, you know where to go. So there's no, you know, so just take that as a grand norm and institute it in your country. But there must be consequences.